Okay, Fambulem, a warm good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody around the globe, the world over. Today, the 25th of September, 2020, me now a host and presenter, Prince Emil Krumade, come to una live from the United Kingdom. This is a very special program as usual. Every time we get a very special program. At the big una, those of una we don't sign up, this is very interesting, very important. Una, please share this video. I think right now we got about 15, 16 people. Of course, we're just warming up and we listen to the research corruption. But the usual ritual, Mr. Victor Spain, welcome to the program. Of course, you understand the ritual is a big stakeholder on this platform. Una, please share. Invite family and friends because we need to have a conversation as usual. Thank you very much. Let's continue with the research. I own no copyright to these songs that I am playing. I derive no benefits at all, financial, other than for informational and educational reasons. So the research staff will appreciate this. Thank you so much. Right, Fambulem, welcome to a brilliant edition of the Then and Now program. Today, the 25th of September, 2020, me now a host and presenter of this wonderful, wonderful platform, the Then and Now, today and today. If we understand both, then we can understand where we are going. Very, very significant program tonight. So I'll be just the wait for let we develop the level of people the way they watch. So it developed a little bit, but we expect more as there are hundreds and hundreds of us where they broadcast. So there are the ask una, please share one more time. So we get, I expect one or two very special guests tonight. One of them is Mr. Alfred Sanko, aka Salon Cashbox. And I also expect Mr. Bashiru Vandi, when a huge stakeholder na the NGC party, political party. Okay? I expect these two people for join me in conducting this analysis tonight on this platform. So Fambulem, without much ado, let me get going. Let's get on with it, okay? Let us provide a little context before we go forward. First of all, those of you who may see the flyer earlier on, been see say, the caption says, corruption in State House. I repeat, corruption in State House. I see we put and so, now so exactly we be meaning. So corruption in State House. But until we know say, all the time, we live in different times where the stories then that just they develop. Every time, every second you open your phone or your gadget where you monitor, there is something new, there is something different. Then the white paper come out, this long-awaited white paper, it come out. So now big story where they trend na social media. Very huge story. We get this massive reverberating consequence and repercussion for we fragile state. A decision has been taken. A long-awaited decision has been taken. So we blend the two together because they're not really far apart. They sort of look like family corruption at State House, and then the white paper, we sort of put out the story about people we thief government couple, even though they operate in a public capacity for serve the people. Instead, they make use of the government coffer which belong to the people and nick the money they and turn them into their own private use. That became in itself corruption. And bearing in mind that the current president, retired Brigadier His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, been get a campaign promise. Ladies and gentlemen, let me get this right. It been get a campaign promise. We inside that campaign promise, we happen to be the SLPP manifesto. This is the Sierra Leone People's Party manifesto. The president, the current president, then candidate Bio, pledge for arrest corruption, for deal with corruption as it is. This was a pledge come true, okay? Because he been promising, this is what I'm going to do, if I do get elected into office. There were a couple of things that he pledged to do. This is just one of it. So it shouldn't come as a surprise to many. And again, because the white paper took so long for it to come out, all the tensions and the pressure of this white paper, it sort of kind of withered down a bit. But the president had to add more tension to him yesterday, the 24th, when he finally released the papers and allowed himself to talk over them papers there, where he say, this is what is going to happen henceforth, and this is the way we are going to go forward, as opposed to people that we name the thing inside day. So that is as clear as daylight. So one thing I expect we for know, and the way I make it look in this case, is as a game of chess, ladies and gentlemen. To me, it looked like a game of chess. So the president don't move in peace. For those of you who are chess players out there, the president has moved his piece. Chess now about moving pieces. You get powerful pieces there within at the background, just like government, and then you get the sacrificial lambs. Okay, now please. Yes, sir. Yes. Is it the host waiting? Yeah, what I want to let you do, I want to let you log off, and then you log on and use the credentials then what I send you, yeah? Because I've been getting difficulty, so I've been getting for log off, but I'm now live. I just develop the context for the story. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at least we get a reason for hope. Now, one of the guests, we just called me. Of course, he found difficulty for log on, but of course, I've given him directions. I'll provide a manual, so pretty soon we'll go get him on. So back to the story. I've been to say, those of you who understand within a chess, you get the big one then behind, and you get the foot soldier than before. So the foot soldiers are the sacrificial lambs, are the vuvuzelas, are the attack dogs. In any capacity you want to see them. So in the game of chess, we're very relevant, we're very critical, those of you who play. You can see, say, the president has made a move. The pawns, they don't clear off the way. This is why it took a while. So the pawns, they don't clear. So the giant pieces then, such as the queen, is also on the move. The queen. The president in this case is the bishop. I mean, not the bishop, but the king. And in their wife, the queen, when they protect them, we get right by all corners of the chessboard. She's on the move and checkmating, moving pieces and checkmating. And in this case, one powerful piece has been moved. President Bill, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, don't move a powerful piece in which they don't check. I'm not sure whether this is checkmate as yet. The opposition, mainly the main opposition party, in which the godfather, the father figure, for the opposition party, former president, you can't have it bigger than this, ladies and gentlemen. The former president, Ernest Bai Koroma, has been checked by the current president, Julius Maada Bio. The instances there, they are rare, but they do occur. And in this case of Sierra Leone, the cameras, the global cameras, the limelight, the press are all focused on Sierra Leone right now, in which a sitting president has indicted a former president. What story can be more juicier than this one, ladies and gentlemen? So these are the context today what we want to provide, under which State House corruption, the white paper will be based on a campaign promise that the current sitting president will go after corrupt practices. People that will practice corruption, will thief government money, it go get hold of them. And this is where the president is today. And ladies and gentlemen, let's make this absolutely clear. Let's make this crystal clear. We not tolerate corruption in any sense, state, or form. Corruption na a cancer na a society. And me, when they talk na this platform, are they against some 110% if it mathematically possible, 1,000% if it mathematically possible, because if they deny as soon as you the song we play as per the Sage, food no day, the reason why na corruption. Pikin they go school no day or school fee no day, na corruption. And many other, again, multiple facets. So as I'm saying, corruption na an enemy of a nation. So if we able for handle them, why shouldn't we? So today, yesterday, the president released a long-awaited white paper where not go down with some people, very many people, very powerful people. But a precedent has been set. This is the bottom line. We go ask critical questions, then going further. But a critical precedent has been set by this head of state. In so doing, it don't stake in legacy. When I say stake in terms of good, where we go look into critically in a short while. Because anybody will pledge for fed corruption, that person obviously should be held. Those of us who will not like this fight against corruption, absolutely, I will say loud and clear, are those that benefited or are benefiting from a practice which puts the larger population, the plenty, the beaucoup of we, into peril, into poverty. This is why corruption as an enemy of the nation has to be fought tooth and nail. Do we understand this? At least I think I've developed that context in which we are going to go into tonight. The people that we seriously go oppose waiting the president do as per just fed the corruption. I know they talk about the pedantics, which are they can't deal with just now. Pedantics are they talk about the lily business then, because now complex business, but it cannot equally straightforward. In other words, the blood is drawn. The president don't pull blood. So this, there is no going back. Now he make a column like a chess play. Because against powerful people, it don't move a powerful piece in which a couple of people very heavy, now the political class, are under check. And the president is going for a checkmate. But will this checkmate take place? This is the question here tonight. So I think I've developed my story. I don't develop the context. Let me just wait for me guess them for come. Make us see whether I'm able to copy the link or me contacts, so I will able to bring them come. Okay, not able to forget it yet, but I can do the talking myself. Okay, so Fambulem, here is the thing, because I'm very sure they will join me later. Here is the thing. So the presidents don't move. They don't move in peace. All man, they talk about this thing. Of course, as much as I scourge some of the news them way at the area, but like I say, I am for the fight against corruption. Corruption is a symptom of the greater underlying cause. The real cause, the real issue here, the underlying thing where they bet with people and badly is that of poverty and corruption. Now the cause of this poverty. And the people of the country are so dear to me that when I talk, this is where I talk from. I talk in behalf of the people. But if we say we defeat corruption, then we have to be honest. There has to be no sacred cows. We have to be direct, because those that we protect today will turn out tomorrow for be the flowers we go germinate and become that strong flower we don't grow. The stem don't become so strong that for root and down, it become rather difficult. So if we say we defeat them today, we need for fetam at all cost. Okay? We need for fetam at all cost. I think I need the guest where still they get problem, or me guess them where still they get problems. So Fambulem, let we continue the conversation. If na Ali na difficult them hala tifpan, so nobody no go say na lie. Seek grassroots ideology. I don't know what Mr. Mohammed Lamin Kamara is trying to say there, but there are a couple of conversations ongoing, and are they advocate, are strongly they call for engagement na the chat room. I want them we really engage because I got to monitor the engagement as well. And we don't want no rudeness. The last broadcast, there were people who were extremely rude to the platform, both to myself in person and to others. I mean, we can disagree for agree, not because somebody hold another view, so therefore we therefore result into cussing and the rest of it. No, that is not allowed here. Next time, I don't promise this, but it can always slip in mind. We go get administrator them, we go deal with that. So Fambule, like I say, what we need for do is for understand, say, if we defect corruption or the president say defect corruption, there should not be any sacred cows. Nobody should be protected. Not at all. Not at all. Nobody not for be protected. President Bio has to be absolutely clear that he not going to protect anybody. But in this case, there are questions, you know, are supposedly some officials then, some are serving and some are sitting, you know, here like lame ducks and etc. We don't understand why these people, their name not appear. Of course, the president will know why. In fact, not the president. Let me know for the president in this case, because he been charged the responsibility to other people then. So the other people then submit their names there, but there are question marks regarding these names, by the way. How come people are beginning to question, say, waiting the original COI commission being put forward? This is not the case that in the see now where they unfold, okay? This is not the case where they see they unfold. So make I provide this again for media guest. I can make sure say it come on this platform here tonight because we definitely get forget and the brother is very sound, very, very sound. So if they get problem with password, okay, I see why. I see why. I see why. Okay, Famule, wanna bear with me, please, yeah? I see why. Mr. Sanko, where is he, senior? Bear with me. I just did try for get me guest. Yeah. I just did try for get me guest. Yeah. Yeah, Freddie, you get pen and paper. Sorry, it's my fault. You know, yeah, the access code changed, you know, security wise. Yeah. So the ID will be, of course, I'm live, so Fabulous, I can take the ID as well. You know, me say I will allow for join this for special guest. So it's 897 1570 5664. Just in case they ask you for passcode, take this number as well. If you ask you for passcode, 490 668. If you ask you for participant ID, take this as well. I know one day we come back again. So just give all three. Anyone we ask you for now, you got all of it. So it's 4504. Yes, and 07. 07. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, Fambulem, again, apologies in mid-flow. The guest, the passcode changed. That I make not able for access, and I just realized that. So I pass it on to Ram. Never mind. The talk go on, Fambulem. Well, thank you very much for the patience because this is very, very important. So, like we say, the fight against corruption is a good fight and must be fought. And the president don't wear in war clothes for persecute those who are found wanting in terms of corruption. And Fambulu, therefore ask ourselves, why shouldn't people who dip into the coffers of government, when we entrust them with public duty and turn that public duty there for enrich themselves at the peril of a nation? Why shouldn't we hold such people accountable? Definitely the answer should. And like I say, the only people who will be upset, and a lot of people are upset, I know this, are people who are benefiting or directly benefited from a corrupt system. So if action is taken against them, it is obvious that they will be upset. This will be the same thing is applicable to me. If that had happened to me, I would be upset. I would find it difficult. My properties are about to be taken away from me. But where is the conscience? But let me come back to the main thing, because this has been done. The white paper has been read. We now know people where they inside that white paper day. We do now know the white people, the people where they inside that white paper. So by virtue of we know say the people where they inside the white paper, we can talk about them. And we know the one that we know they inside the white paper, where we really expect say go they inside the white paper, but the people that we do the preliminary investigation, we arrive at this white paper, the conclusion of this white paper, they know best. But that not mean say we cannot question, that not mean say we cannot ask questions, because we can go back and say, when the president authorized a housekeeping moment, when the president authorized an auditing period via in chief of staff, where happened to be Professor Francis, he said that people that we serve under the Ernest by Koroma government in period, for that 11-year period, ministers, them head of MDAs and etc., all the people that they go get for be accountable in terms of corruption. We not see these people investigated, some of them, and we see big names are missing, where the thing when they tell we unaccounted for wealth, looking at the salary where you've been making, not commensurate with the property the way you own, but yet these people are not there. That's why we are saying, President Julius Maada Bio, are we serious in fighting this corruption? One more thing I get for say, because we already get the guest, before I switch over to a guest. Here is the thing, Fambulem, because corruption, like I say, it comes in many different facets. And if we're honest about fighting corruption, we get for know and we get for be prepared for deal with them in every direction possible. Okay, every direction possible. And Fambule, here is the thing. When President Bio came to power, we know say before he left England, Usa Ibn Days, it came beaucoup people and go. So we know say 50%, we can say that from a reasonable logic, that 50% of the people that we can go, now people that we or people that we come abroad. And most likely then people there, now people that we get foreign passports. This is the issue of dual nationality, citizenship. Some of them we know them because we are all friends. I'm not here to name names. We are only going to talk about the generality of them, that people in common are United Kingdom, outside other European countries, mainland Europe, and the United States. And people in common and go join President Bio, and they are now serving today. We also see a member of parliament who resigned in duties as a parliamentarian because he's been coerced, because he's been pressured for do things that we're not supposed to do. And we know say Nande could be getting captured, corruption in State House, many other things, because the president, they put forward political appointees, nominees, where it is sent to parliament for confirmation. Parliament therefore confirm them people there because why now the president put them forward. If these people were scrutinized, we know people that will not be people that will not be cashiers then at Tesco. Today they are now serving this government under President Bio and under questionable circumstances. Trust, there is a sense of seriousness and the message going to everybody, not a certain section, so that people are not going to say this is a witch hunt. This is the duty of the president for rule over everybody. So I just want to show Una a quote from the current ACC boss. I keep them quotes, they are almost 2 years plus old now. Okay, I don't know whether Una they see them, but I can read them for Una. These are my favorite quotes from Francis Ben Kaifala. Our role is to investigate corruption and corrupt practices everywhere in Sierra Leone. Francis Ben Kaifala. I want the people to not judge me by radio appearance, but rather by my actions. Okay, rather by my actions. This is Francis Ben Kaifala. Within the next 2 to 3 months, that's over a year ago, 2 years counting. Okay, the fight against corruption is going to be fair but fierce. And this is what I want to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, Can you please join me in welcoming Mr. Alfred Sanko, a man famously known on the media waves for being the voice of Salon Cashbox. He's no stranger, so I'm not going to delve deeper into introducing him any further than I have done. Mr. Sanko, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me. And Mifambulem, on a good evening, good afternoon, or good morning.
Thank you very much. So, Fambulem Asunayayi, we don't develop the context, which is corruption at State House, and then the white paper. I've been one deal with corruption at State House specifically, and the white paper come out. So I find some time here for try for conjoin the two, because now Fambulem, they kind of related. So with me luckily here tonight, I guess somebody will understand these things for help me for provide an insight, a preview, a synopsis, and the reality of waiting at the situation as we witness them today. Alfred, my first question to you will be corruption at State House. Obviously, there is corruption practices in the State House. We get the record, a recent survey poll done by Carl. Some civil society in Freetown find State House for be one of the most corrupt places in the country. Does it surprise you?
First of all, before I answer the question directly, no way, somebody go see the internet. We don't need for wait for make Carl do these findings before we believe. You see, waiting don't destroy we country now, because loads of people are not objective at all. And the reason why I say we're not objective now we country now, because every time we say some we they talk there, like people are always they feel say we kind of like want to criticize the government. And like you always say, okay, my answer your question first. It not surprise me at all, because sequence of things that on the happen now we country. I mean, lots of things that would not happen. They clearly tell we say there is corruption everywhere. But yet, like, and the most, like, I'm not surprised with people and they talk, say, like, State House, Parliament, these are the most corrupt places in our country. I'm not surprised at all. Because, like, when you look at the first way people, they forget about. Now, this thing where we can tell, we say, the president for spend we money, no account for at all. It is spend them how we want them, no need for account for them. That was like something way for trigger for make we know say something somewhere is something is wrong, and like we institutions that they fail with. But like one thing where I can tell Salon people, I mean, I don't know how to do propaganda. I don't even sabi. I know anything where they say, like it is factual. I can back them up. I can sleep now night and wake in the morning. Like I back exactly waiting as they say. But the terrible thing, I mean, this president, they tell we say, like in Padiem, imagine, and one thing people Salon people for understand back in the days. Carl, I think like a CSO where they be headed by I think Abdullah Valley or Ibrahim Tommy. I can't remember. I think
Tommy.
Yes, Ibrahim Tommy. So this wasn't something where Ibrahim Tommy take upon himself. It was sponsored by DFID. Now, all of a sudden, now we talk about corruption now. This like government where they issue a white paper. This like government where they tell people and say they're thief. We they come that side for make we kind of like really delve into it. But the point where I want to try for making a stage. When DFID been the talk about auditing them, I mean, in the past government, DFID been kind of like sponsored the previous government. where like defeat be kind of like frowned at the previous government about, I can't remember the exact thing. We see this government kind of like talk about now the GTT report, where they don't be even get some facts them correct. Now, all of a sudden, Chief Minister now, they tell we say they probe, defeat, and call about the report we just come out. You know, I give a story where it be say, this guy been there na government wife, a one cross go over Lunge. Like in the last pampa and the ferry, don't left him. So what did this guy do? It's sit down now. This not it be supposed to go married. Right? He want go marry the lovely bride Obalunge. And then a government wife, ferry don't left him. The last pam don't left him. He go back na Kisi terminal or so if na so they call him. The pam don't left him and the ferry don't left him. Now, why you pro you the past, he feel sorry for us here and say, this not the man he married. I don't need for left him stranded. The Yuba take the man now and say, you know, it's ma put you under me, under hand. Ma cross you over Lunge. Right in the middle, imagine this not possible sorry for you. Imagine right in the middle of the water, the Yuba they struggle for carry this heavy man. Now the man they tell the Yuba say, oh Yuba, you underhand the smell. Why I pull the story nowadays? The very defeat where this government use for kind of like make story, we're not being too factual. Yes, there were some elements of truth inside there. The very defeat where they use, where they be trust for use for a certain report. Now the same defeat that the tell say, defeat the report not credible. There is no credence to defeat the report. You know, how long salon people they sit down and be treated like idiots? Now this me don't tire with. And people like it just feel say you just want to criticize this government. You know, like a defeat now sponsor this thing. Now all of a sudden, Chief Minister, where thief with 1.5 million. I mean, I tell people and say, I they let me life by Chief Minister in 1.5 million if you not thief up. And they let me life up and Sierra Woodtile, where we can talk about later, we say not the 30% not be ever exist. But the point why they try for make Naira is this. If una they tell we say defeat, now that they go probe defeat, una not believe defeat the report, then why una be believe defeat where they be produce a report about the past government? This not the point where we need for. I mean, this not precedent where they tell we say it won't spend with money without no receipt. This not the precedent where they travel per year. Even for, imagine, even for go check bakery na Guinea, we need for the pay this man per diem. Even for the go check for coup na Rwanda, we they pay this man. Imagine, see where you for bakery you need for go there, for go na Guinea, but just because it wants per diem. For make we country the gear and per diem, and they go Rwanda for go watch fall them, for go watch coup. You know, these are all waste of resources. Now I make, but again, I don't want to. We go come to this all white people.
Yeah, exactly. Because there are series of things they want to ask, and you know, say time not can really ever permit we. But here are some of the things, you know, yeah. Thank you for that brilliant analysis. This is the reason why we are always proud in bringing you on the platform, because you are a man of numbers, you are a man of facts. You know, yeah, this is what you talk about. I mean, people can go and take that to the bank. You can go verify, and this is it. Imagine he's talking about defeat. So then article and then how you go call them? They're also there for you verification. So not of us say just they plug things, you know, yeah, out of the air. Yeah, those documents are available for those of you who might be interested in going to that, because we know say a large number of the people they are very interested in facts, whilst a few who are very powerful are always there to distort the facts and then they argue on the basis of substance. Not just, you know, yeah, try to use gullible people. But here's the thing, Mr. Sanko, okay? Back again to the issue of corruption, you know, in a state house. We know that this head of state, the current head of state, they are in this country. And a number of people that we take along with them. We know a few. Let me say the agriculture minister, for example, Mr. Sandy, Vandy rather. These are people with questions on their head. They get questions. The idea or the thing what they try for say here is, for example, if you are prosecuted somewhere, okay, you've lost a degree of integrity, for serving in a public capacity. So if you cannot do it here because there's some kind of record behind you, you cannot equally do the same on the other side of the Atlantic, especially in a public capacity.
Yeah.
So the current government has got a lot of people, within rank and file. We see the president angry lately where he fire one of them. For goodness sake, they make better money, but you're so flashy and you're all over the place why people in the struggle for get bread and butter. But they put you some side, outside they generate revenue and they buy things them where your salary cannot afford, and the president will get for take action, rightfully so. But we wait and see whether they will push these people towards the ACC, not only fire them, you can't just fire them or recycle them because we've seen evidence of this in the past, okay? Where you suspend or you fire somebody and no sooner you recycle them and bring them come back. So we go back again to the issue of corruption in our state house. I want you take your time, let you explain to the general public about your understanding of this perception of corruption in the state house where the president they fed so strongly today, but it did in your backyard. We know say he inherit them, of course. So was the last who inherited some forms of corruption, but it seemed for they grow exponentially. Waiting are your understanding of corruption in the state house, and waiting you would like to tell the public generally.
Right. You see, Mr. Prince, for say, I'm a strong believer in this thing where I can say, corruption is not something where you they inherit. Somebody go ask me, say, waiting you mean? If like, this like subjective statement where I they make. The reason why I they say so, say nothing where they inherit. It just like for make a calm na me house. I read and say, somebody the thief na this house. Me just move come inside the house. I can't live with the person. Then tell me, say, this person na thief man. You know why the person go continue for thief? Now where you kind of like give them the platform for make a thief. I don't know if I kind of like make sense.
Yeah, I'm getting you. I hope the audience, and I should say as a very clever man, the audience, they get you as well.
Yeah, I hope so. Because you see, they're clever people. So surely, no more they doubt me self what I say. So I make like I try for say like, but you say like what I try for the story what I try for Bill Nayar is when I can meet somebody with a thief, what it I do, I suppress the thing where they make a thief. Like you always tell we say somebody no go play with Pamine, lick yan. I think na Pamine. You understand? So waiting we for do, instead of we make people they use the Pamine for play with, instead of people they use the hand for play with the Pamine, we the fen cup where we they use for make them turn the Pamine. So in other words, when you see, say, there are loopholes, like in a particular place, you they try for kind of like, if you remember, I think a year ago, where same place, same man, where I see done before right now. Now the fact that we've been talking about something, we have been telling us, say, corruption, not to cure, we for cure corruption, we for prevent corruption. And this na a slogan where even the anti-corruption man they don't tell we about. The reason why people why you then can't tell we now say they inherit like corruption na state house. The other thing back with this inheritance of corruption na state house nowadays. Do you remember when President Bio take power? I think he gets rid of about almost 125 people from state house. So if una tell we say una inherit corruption, then I'm not able to understand. Then 125 people want to be sacked in the State House. Then they still they work there. But we remember, say, then get rid of all the staffs then will be in the State House. So if you they tell we say you inherit corruption, then it means they inherit them from the person we employ them. Because it don't make any sense to we. But you see, I think that Keketoma Ayeri, they talk that talk. Waiting with you can tell me, say, like even the countrywide, forget about the presidency office, countrywide. For make, yes, we know say like corruption, they inside the system now we country. But for 2.5 years, this government's not able to put things them in place where they prevent corruption. That is the biggest failure of this particular administration, where people are not able to understand. People are going to say, oh, Rome wasn't built in a day. Yes, we get that. But by then, 10 years, we don't begin to see like the pickaxe. We don't begin to see the iron rod. We don't begin to see the cement where they can pile, because for try for stop for where they can build the Rome. But waiting with the see now, corruption, nothing no day where we country they prevent for stop corruption. All waiting we they do now for cure with the cure corruption all the time. And let me tell you one thing, the biggest thing where people in the field for realize now, Salon, until we get a proper price control. For instance, like make like some of the richest people in our salon that the procurement office system now we country, the one that we work now with procurement office system. Because look, Mr. Prince, there is no price control now we country. Somebody will come now we country today, and tell we say it can give you proper receipt for something where the market price supposed for be 500 leons. It can give you a receipt for 2,000 leons. As an auditor, yes, auditors they get responsibility for check the market price of things them. But remember, there were time scales. They get under time pressure as well. So they will look at the receipt, they see send a correct receipt, they verify them. But waiting people in the field for realize that 1,500 don't disappear. It is not legal. Somebody somewhere don't go arrange with the supplier for making issue this receipt. But the system what we need for implement now we country, now how we foresee and say, when this thing na market price na 500 leons, we don't expect them for me to go over 550 leons maximum. And it's possible say we can even left out to 500. Depends. Now I make like wait here I talk. I say Rome wasn't built in a day, but we don't see cement, the iron rod them that the 50 leons what they put on top.
Okay, Mr. Sanko, thank you very much for that. But here's another thing I want to ask you. And these questions are going to be direct. They're hard, but like I say, you're a man of many words, so you're able to answer them. So the idea is the white paper is finally out, and the indictment is damning. It comes from all the way from the top, and you can't have it, more than that, because there's no one else beyond former President Ernest Bai Koroma, who is at the very top, of the value chain. And so this indictment is very, very powerful in many respects. Waiting that you take on this white paper, I know that some of it you calculate, but I want for you to be direct. Waiting that you take on this white paper, let me look, further down the road, 11 years ago, not all of the 11 years, but the promise which the current president made, because this is a manifesto promise that it will look into corruption. What's your take on corruption? Because I shall say, as a progressive young man, you want to see your country better, and we know say corruption now some cancerous cell, and it's a symptom of a bigger problem. The underlying problem, the poverty. So if we get rid of corruption, which is hard, but at least mitigate them, poverty will be reduced tenfold. So how you see this corruption process where this president they pursue right now within the scope of the white paper we publish?
You see, Mr. Prince, if anybody no gladly for make we fight corruption, that person they not to a patriot at all. I believe, this government give room for make the fight against corruption lost every credibility in our country. Every credibility. First of all, me a person way, and I know like I can get a lot of stick right now for the comments way I can make. Me na person will not be even believe in this COI. I've been seeing and say it was a waste of time. I've been seeing and say now a deterrent to growth, and not just Salon, but Africa as a whole. Me and you two don't sit down here. I remember make reference to Magufuli. Magufuli was part of the most corrupt country, corrupt government where Tanzania don't ever see. It grew up through the ranks and became president. He self be no saying a corrupt government in Nepal. You know what Magufuli do? When he ready for change the dynamics of Tanzania. In fact, if you look at history, now one of the presidents, it gets in your own bad side, the way people they report about him, we know they see. But when you they look at one of the countries the way they fight corruption, now Magufuli people actually they look at. But Magufuli not ever try for go against the past minister them, because if you for me do one, now in your very party people they destroy. Right? Why are they say so? Africa, for far too long, we're not actually able to understand 38 Usai we day. If you look at a country like Nigeria, then the thief money, most of Nigeria, then billionaire then today, even the Dangote will not get in wealth through politics. His dad was a politician.
So what's the point? You know they sanction corruption in any sense. So what's the broader point that you try for making?
Yes. So the point why they try for making Naya, first of all, we country, as you say, corruption na a cancerous cell where they destroy lives. I listened to a gentleman, DJ Million, where he shows some prisoners them. I feel sorry for the guy them. Like hundreds of prisoners that we nowhere close. They look young men and women. These are people that we're supposed for they out there in the workforce, where for they contribute to the economy. Then on one side, you know what it is? Certain some man na phone the thief. Certain some man a thief like trainers. Somebody tell and say you are they jail you, then they see you key again. Waiting they cause that because life so hard that they need for take extreme steps them for make them survive. We understand. But I tell you one thing, Brother Prince, and this is nothing where I predict now. This government, the thing I want to predict at the camp day, but wait till the try for say this government don't make corruption not get any credence anymore now with society. Because it just, yes, the reason why I say so, it just tell like even with me picking the way I did now, I cannot be using the F word and not expecting me picking them for use the F word, because they go tell me say, oh, I remember like me bobo waking one me like I say me into na company pass working put stop on na road, see me like I eat I don't know, I think I be the drink like I think in a Coke I be the drink for some reason I just get the craving normal, and this was like 8 o'clock. And then I tell her and say, now he ask me, say, oh, Daddy, can I have Coke? I said, no. I say, it's too late. You know the question where you ask me?
No.
Why you the drink? It's 8 o'clock.
Of course.
Imagine this. Me all answer clear because I can tell and say, I'm an adult. I allow for, let's say, tell me metabolism, it not go stop me from sleeping and all that thing. And then me get good answer for them. Now, if this government, they fight corruption, we they see instances them, clear evidences them, where they tell we say, right in the middle of the government, corruption they take place. How you go able to fetch people like an escrow? And make us say this thing clearly now, Brother Prince. The 94 million where they say disappear, right? And in fact, not to 94 million, low pull the 30 million where they say Sarah Woodtile, because I don't tell people like yesterday na me audio say, and they put me live say Sarah Woodtile money not be ever exist. Let me say the 64 million where they say that the total money we lost, $64 million where they say totally where he lost at that country, Brother Prince. Me they tell you this. I get as a belief, say, waiting lost now with country, he passed 64 million. Far away. But the point now here is this: first of all, they don't actually do the process correctly. Secondly, like the thing waiting with all loss as a result of instability in our country because of this whole corruption fight, because we don't do them correctly, because the current government make the one that we don't thief now the last government don't feel confident say if you they do them, why make me not for do them? We don't do them. So it's easy for make the opposition we just come on up power tell them say go una look what una thief na ya. If you go take Dennis Sandy, is it Dennis Sandy, Dr. Sandy or so, the current Minister of Lands, we don't thief inside the past government. You understand? We work inside this past government. You get people like a Sajusu, where in fact, not to me say the audit report clearly tell we say Sajusu, then get $10 million for go pay with debtors them. Some of the things them where people in the cry the country for say the country get high debt and Escoma left high debt when another conversation for another day, right? They give this man $10 million, say go pay with creditors them. This man take the money, he eats up. The very Matthew Dingy. Make a talk about Matthew Dingy. And I build the thing for tell you say, them people I don't make corruption fights now we country, no get no credence. It don't get no credibility. We've killed it. And how we kill them now, people like a Sajusu, the Matthew Dingy. Matthew Dingy was the head of budgets now we country. And people, what people in the field for realize this? Budget, not just number. Budget now a monitoring tool. Now, like a supervisor, budget now possible way like now watchman. When you don't produce budget, anytime when the budget kind of like deviates a little bit, the budget man gets for flagam. This now guy where don't be head of budget. Now, Matthew didn't you want to talk about so now in the current deputy financial secretary now we country. This now people where they all don't destroy we country. Then now they can't tell we say when they point fingers at Sajusu for with 10 million, you see a name there inside this audit white paper. So this government don't destroy. So going back to the question for say corruption, of course we all for me welcome the corruption. Although me personally, not for me welcome this fight against corruption for one thing. And make people like
so I'll address this directly to you. I will give you exactly what you mean. But we just want to know something. Yeah. Do you or do you not welcome this move? Because of course you can get issues with them, but broadly speaking, do you have issues, with the move for stamp out corruption?
Yes, I do. And this now Usai Abi one can go. I definitely get issue with the white paper and this whole COI.
Tell the audience why, please. This is quite kind of interesting. Before people begin look you as the villain.
Exactly. And I know people get for, but please, una just take time and listen why I say so. And una just believe within what they say. I know it's hard.
You sound very much like a pastor. You sound very much like I just believe what I'm saying. And if you can substantiate that with yes.
Well, of course, because this is exactly what the tribe for build.
Okay, go on, please.
People will tell this. Oh, so you encourage people for thief now we continue. Listen, that's not the case. As I say, all waiting we country they do not cure with it and cure corruption. We not even start it for preventer. When we country, we begin build infrastructures them. Trust me, but what would they now so now the UK? If money go inside your account, we know to you own. HMRC, they get every system for tell you when you overpay tax or underpay tax, HMRC they flag them to you. You know why? Because there are 6 systems in place where they build denting they are up. Waiting with the field for realize Africa, we get the second biggest population of the world. And fast growing population, the fastest growing population of the world. China, they lead by 100. Yeah, exactly. The youngest population as well now the world. As we talk right now, China, they fight seriously right now. They get an aging population. And that's not a serious effect, where they therefore affects them in the next 10, 20 years. Because why? They not get enough workforce where they work for make them pay people in pension. And when people can misunderstand, when people work, when they contribute their pension, that pension money they is to a bank, then they invest them, then they put them inside the system, then they expect younger generation for work and then kind of like pay for that pension money. Now, so then they work. So China right now, as we talk, then they worry for the aging population. Africa get the youngest population. We suppose, and you know, I didn't kind of like sway away. I didn't land to your question, Brother Prince. We, Africa, we suppose for able to attract the biggest investment right now in the world. But you know what in they make Africa, we not kind of like able to attract investment now because of lack of security, instability, all the inside part of the security. You know, I talk about, I believe, says and tell yourself, go on kind of, you go no side, they can't go naya, because we don't talk about this acronym within the call SLY, if you remember, Brother Prince, we don't talk about this. Oh, yeah, investors, them always, they look for this three things, this acronym when a SLY, three things. And it come by the pecking order. Firstly, it is the security. Any cyber investor they go, they want security. In other words, when they go put their money any side, if they don't make profit, many no loss within them put. Secondly, it is the liquidity. The liquidity basically means like if I want kind of like I for able see and say, you know, if I want to move away from this market, I for able sell them to somebody we're willing for buy and all lending in it. Then the last thing where people like you feel says it's investors are desperate for, but then the last now the pecking order, now the yield, the SLY SLY. But yield, in other words, the yield actually means like profit or anything where they're able to generate by the investment. Then the last thing, because you know why not the last thing? Investors and people and we always they get to this thing where they call like they like for diversify this portfolio theory. Investors they like for diversify their investment. In other words, that's saying when they can say not put your egg in one basket. So they like for put them in a different side. So this is not the reason we make, and it come now that the question, we may say security is the number one thing where a country forgets for able to attract investment. Why I say corruption, no good. The fight will fight corruption. And I don't say we're not for fight corruption, but not the wrong way. With the cure corruption, we know the preventer. Remember African politics, Africa, if you go first, like, you know, listen to financial news them. They will tell you, say, the reason why people in go Africa now because of number one, the guarantee the way they say that the instability now we country, right? And
Fred, okay, let me give you 30 seconds for just landing on that. We need to, you know, catch up with me.
But when instability kind of like when instability kick in a country, like you find out say it make people and then they able kind of they kill people the appetite for go to that place there. So the fight where we fight corruption, right or good, and they score my people and McKinney go say, oh, now because now McKinney come out. If Madam you go, if people in a bond, then like if Madam you left Jishon, they go say, oh, now because now we don't be the brother, now they want make the one put inside because of the dynamics of with politics. If we for be serious for fight corruption, you know what we they do? The biggest bonus where we don't ever get in our country. Francis Ben Kaifala for don't put things them in place where they prevent corruption. Start from USA Uday. And this not to me they try to tell you say their money where an Escobar they don't thief, they're supposed to go away with it without no like question being answered.
But this is exactly what I want to ask you about because you talk on a very high academic, you know, your kind of level, and they profile, you know, your kind of solutions and some theories as well as to if we are serious about fighting corruption, these are the things that we need for do, but a need for start from some side. And here is the thing. The idea here is the president has drawn blood. He's initiated, you know, some kind of exercise in which corrupt officials of yesterday are now being held accountable. They don't set a precedent. They don't open a Pandora box. So it's obvious that he's not going to be there for a lifetime. There are others who are going to come after him as well. So he set this motion going so which he himself will succumb to at some point if he is found wanting. Don't you believe in that?
Of course I do believe in that. But I'll tell you one thing, Brother Prince. If any government come back to that country and begin fight corruption the way Mother Bio fight corruption, so will they still get picking them where they sleep in a cottage, 3 in a 1 bed? Will they still get mommy them where not able get food for day? Will they still get a situation where it be say like family of 4 according to the NGC list, they're supposed to eat 40,000.
Okay. So you fundamentally disagree. This is my take. You fundamentally disagree with the way this president, the current president, they fed the corruption. I ask you again.
Yes, I'm going to disagree today. And if any government come back, they run after Mother Bio them. And this not to me the kind of like they tell people and now say, okay, this is not free flow, una just the thief no more. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying here is this. We country, for make we move forward, we need for stop then kind of effects their own effects. The way they cause this federal effect, now because we politics still get in that line of tribalism, regionalism. So even when you do something, like listen, Brother Prince, everything where you do, whether good or bad, look at the people where you lead. If me a teacher, the way where I talk to, like because in a maths teacher, he give me one story me one day. He say when he go teach picking them where they take their GCSE, the way where they talk to them, and the way they talk to the one that we just go year 7, he say it completely different. Why? Because the maturity and the expectation is completely different from waiting like the one that we did GCSE and the one that we did year 7. Your expectation from them completely different. Africa, until we get to a stage where we say and say, I'm going to stand up now and fight corruption from Usai Ade. The reason being because we politics still engraved into tribalism and regionalism or was
which is true, Mr. Sanko, just for the benefit of time, because we're fast running out of time. Yeah. Don't want to keep you more than I should. Which is true. And somebody just praised you that you're kind of super intelligent, almost like an Einstein.
Oh God.
Yeah. But here is the thing. Yeah. Whilst what you are saying it sounds super correct, but again, with society so polarized, and this is where I believe you were going to. But if I understand you well, again, it's like, well, yes, corruption does exist, but for protect the sanctity of the state, the togetherness of the state, because after all, the state in itself is fragile. So therefore, we have to do away with many other things, like look away from like the approach where Mother Bio they do so to corruption, because it's sort of the endanger the peace of the country. Did I get that right in terms of the way they try to characterize them?
Absolutely. And the reason people go feel say, when you talk, say, it endanger the sanity and the security of the country, people go feel say, oh, you're a bit selfish. No, it's not that. The reason why they say it endanger the sanity, the security, the stability of a country, now because of the point where I make earlier, say these governments don't make the credibility of fighting corruption don't go away. It is clear, Honorable Tawa, Honorable Parantarawali, openly tell we say corruption they take place na parliament. They make them openly na 98.1 and they cost themselves. It is clear that 140 billion disappear inside 2018. It is clear in the audit report. Yes, okay. It is clear that say the chief minister, somebody go tell me say, well, you know, find them guilty in the court of law. That's bollocks. Sorry for me language. That's
all right. It's understandable in English.
Yes. You use it. But you see, the point where the guy for make now, it is clear. So you see, and please, let me just land. These are all stories them way clear. It is clear, say, Sajusu thief we country in 10 million, right? And it is clear, say, Matthew Dingy, as at the top of the last audit report, Matthew Dingy tell the Auditor General, say, about 720 billion will disappear through salaries. Matthew Dingy tell the Auditor General, say, oh, actually, we deeper investigate, you don't get the right information, and we get the documents and now we exist. But waiting happen. In boss when Asajusu, go tell Francis Ben Kaifala, say, oh, corruption don't take place. So Matthew Dingy and Sajusu, who that's the lie? So it is clear, say, corruption take place now inside of it. The question now is this. If 10 years, 20 years, as SLPP people like they say, 20 years, 30 years before APC come back in the power, then go back and go begin to harass them people there. You know it's in the happen? There young people them back in a bond, Kenem, Bo, they all they come back say, oh, we don't go take up. We see what happened with the chief minister. When they chase him for that 1.5 million, the people in a Kenem say, they don't go allow them picking them for many kind of like give the picking them bad name, even though we're not true. You see, outside tribalism and regionalism, they play now with politics. And waiting this the cause. When the people are always they arise, the people are active them money there. If MPs, I like to take donkey here before the other
Stay on the line, please.
Then begin to run after them people layer back.
Yes, stay on the line, please.
Okay, sir. Then begin to
sorry, Freddie. Yeah. Of course, wherever there is an Alfred Sanko, there's going to be a Victor Spain. So the Spanish just called the studio.
Always
now.
running after me.
So say, yeah, absolutely. So obviously, I'm going to have him speak. He's a major stakeholder on this platform, just like you are. And for the benefit of those that are watching, will you introduce yourself, where you're calling from, and you can go ahead with what you want to say or questions where you want to ask, please.
Hello to us all over the world. People just said, one of the contributors to this platform, and I'm so excited to have you tonight. And I don't listen to the various contribution with Brother Prince and the young brother Alfred don't do, but I think I get the off for challenge Brother Alfred in some of the same way you don't make. He makes some arguments in way that seem very, very contradicting. He said he wants lobby effect corruption. When every Sierra Leonean agrees, say corruption is the reason why we don't get elected. Corruption is the reason why we don't get good roads. Corruption is the reason why we get education we're good for nothing. Corruption is the reason why we're lacking the function. Corruption is the reason why all the institutions in La Salon don't become eyes. Yet, you don't come up. It don't stick concept. It don't stick in integrity. By that I mean, as they say today, when concept done, they will therefore bring them to these corruption questions. Alfred, tonight they said it is wrong for start this particular group of people, and when we don't lead in the past 11 years, when we all know say that we do practices them, we're not good for the Salon people. Today we get to learn where they suffer because of their bad practices and where the previous government is involved in. Now I want to challenge Alfred, say arguments not sincere to the platform and not sincere to the listener. Once it say the corruption by it is based on tribalism. The argument tonight says now the argument of tribalism and regionalism that APC they use for diffuse any questions, any difficult questions, where if ordinary people then the accent would just show accountability.
Okay.
And they give Mr. Alfred chance for come back and tell me say no, not to that mean. Because if we say before let's go them and them all the millions where they invest they clearly shown they make we ignore them. They said because Africa don't go before if they fight historical corruption. He said beyond the fact historical corruption due to tribalism. That are so much disagree.
Okay, Mr. Spain, let's just pause you there. Don't go away, of course. Stay right there. I believe Mr. Sanko Yeri, all teen or largely what you say. Let me see, because that's loaded, Mr. Spain. Let me see whether Mr. Sanko will respond to while she's online. Mr. Sanko, did you get Mr. Spain?
Yes, I did. I love this guy, and I tell you one thing. This question we ask so many times, he don't call me in a corner and he's back to me, and then like after work, talk about it. He say, "Oh, that's how you come out." But anyway, like, but make this. First of all, Mr. Spain.
That's Mr. Spain. Yeah,
I know. First of all, Mr. Spain, I want to make you understand one thing. I did not say BOD fight corruption based on tribalism or
regional. No, you still on the Monday respond now. I hope you didn't listen at all.
I did.
Oh yeah, he's responding now. Please take a listen. Thank you.
Okay.
Go on, please.
Okay. I did not say BOD fight corruption based on tribalism or regionalism. I did not say that. I say when we fight corruption, it'll be perceived by the ordinary people, where they don't, we electorate. So another one say we kind of like I don't want to use word, but it'll be perceived to the people. Typical example, for me, say this gets for happen back. If at all we want to run after SLPP back, where they come out in power. Even chief minister, where the 1.5 million come out now do, in people in a Kenema stand up and say, no, they cannot sit by and watch them picking, then people and they destroy them picking their name. This was exactly what they say. So I don't say beyond the fight corruption based on tribalism. I did not say that.
So that's understood. So Victor, did you get that? The man is saying that he not say so. We get for cut them off, for for the reasons of time. So Victor, are you there, sir, Mr. Spain? Okay, Mr. Spain seems they listen to you on the other side.
But you see,
so again, we get one guest we just don't join in, which is Brother Tab. Okay, I think it don't retreat. So we still get you, Alfred. Alfred, will just make a short, please, if we will, because time they catch up with we, and only to do that long program, we do again, like 2-3 hours. Yeah. But what we can do, we can serialize this. Yeah. Like maybe tomorrow or Sunday, we get another 1 hour program.
Absolutely.
So people then we not catch up. We both can sit down and catch up with a 1 hour program. But this is quite important. So you see, the accusation has started already, and the misinterpretation as how people and they understand you for me. And this is why I'm asking you explicitly, my friend and my brother.
Yeah.
You know, they say you not support, the effort by the current president, but the way how you put them, it seems like you're not happy about this white paper and those that have been indicted and the fight against corruption. Or the way out of the federal, which, please?
Well, listen, Brackens.
Yeah.
As I said before, this government don't make the credibility don't go away for fight corruption in our country, especially with the one. Make them clear today. Clear. And people are going to misunderstand me to this. Before Asidor, with the loss 94 million, make I use figures then I am. 94 million now waiting we lost due to corruption. $94 million now waiting we lost due to corruption. We all agree, right? Over the 10 years. Yeah. Bra Prince, let's take this. People are able to understand. Before I go fight corruption and retrieve 94 million, and not just the 94 million, because people are going to say, oh, that's just the money. But I tell you one thing, there are more things, and people make this other thing back clearly. When you fight corruption, people get confidence in you. When you fight corruption, people get confidence in you.
Okay, I get another caller.
I
get another caller. Hold the line from all the way Australia, I believe. Hello, caller. You want to participate on the program?
Yeah.
Okay, hold the line, please. Let's see if I can beam you to the audience quickly. Okay, Mr. Sanko, hold the program. Your thoughts, please. Let's see. Okay, caller. Hang on. This is a little bit slack.
Or maybe that way. Move it a little bit. Yeah, something.
Is
like
it
that.
okay? Does it?
I think so.
Okay, caller, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, you are live on the dinner now. You look like a first-time caller, not familiar with the name. For the benefit, of the audience who they watch globally, if you can give your name and who you call from, and then you can go ahead with what you want to contribute, please.
I call from Sydney, Australia.
Sydney, Australia. Wow. Welcome to the program, brother. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead with your contribution, brother Eddie.
I listen this fellow Cashbox really, but it looks like it hides from the truth.
Okay.
It don't use big words that analyze about corruption, which it escape from the truth. Now, we all know for say corruption, people that's what gets for them practice corruption. They really
I can hardly hear.
Yeah, they come and just they try to sort that out. I think I understand exactly what you want. Yeah, but I did. Yeah, okay, speak on, please.
Okay. Yeah, people that don't take corruption make a celebrity in another country. They do anything, they don't even hesitate. They don't know for say, now the people the money, where did they waste? Now the people the money, where did they?
So, but Eddie, hold you thought for one moment. Freddie, just for connect you quickly because I know say you know they get the first part. But Eddie, they say you seem for they contradict yourself and you don't know why you do what you do and how you say it like say you're not clear option. So now they even the way they develop this argument this thought process. So, brother Eddie, go ahead, please. Brother Eddie, yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. So now I see they call people that name them in these corruption cases, not just maybe shots. I see he talks say tribalism way they do the thing in measure to dingy. Okay, the point is here. Now they don't come up with this white paper. They don't come accuse the past government for saying they don't do so many corrupt things in another country. They come with judges there. The judges they don't can investigate. So this man they try to tell me for say they don't believe the judges them whether they investigate these cases they are. Because don't forget about new government. Not to the old government do the investigation, they come with independent judges there. They can do the investigation. They don't can present the findings to the president. Okay, now the president it don't give to the general. If Mati Dinji, Najusu, or whosoever way they inside this current government, where they will for say, me not be past minister. There are these people there, I don't pass money to them. As he say they give Sajusu money for go clear with debt, he eat her. The finance minister, who will be there by then, he give that money to Sajusu for go clear that debt, he eat her. Then the doctor find out or say, you office be not corrupt, this kind of money. He no go call Sajusu in the court or say, hey, that money they want to say I eat, as Sajusu will be you. Then Sajusu will answer.
So Eddie, brother Eddie, just stay right there. Brother Alfred, brother Eddie.
I get them clear, and I'll be just one quote for answer, but yeah.
Okay, no, I agree. So, Brother Eddie, not go away, please. Stay right there and provide answers to Brother Eddie with what he don't say so far. Let me Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, let me interact. I love this. Mr. Eddie, the question I will ask you, not to me talk about the 10 million. It was clearly in the audit report. So the question where you ask me for tell me, say, if I don't believe the judges. So you tell me now, between the judges them and the Auditor General, who that we for believe now, who that's the lie? Because one person they will lie. The other question, the other thing where you tell me, say, I they mention name saying tribalism. Mr. Spain just talk I think since I talk wrongly, or maybe una misunderstand me. I not say they fight the corruption based on tribal lines. I did not say that. The question now, I don't ask you one question, say, between the Auditor General and the judges, them, who that lie per week. So
okay, that's okay. Let it deal with this in the first place, because I think, say, Brother Eddie, say, you talk about this fight against corruption on a tribal basis.
No, I didn't say that.
Brother Eddie, are you there, sir?
Yeah,
you hear Brother Alfred don't say, wait, you hear him when they talk? You monitor the program back in Australia?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, you're not too clear. Okay. I guess what you really say, the way how we put in submission is like they accuse the SLPP government led by His Excellency ex-Brigadier Julius Madabio of running this affair of corruption on a tribal basis. But they say not to so he said that's not what he mean at all. And then the 10 million where they talk about, not to him mention and not to him make them up. It's not a made-up thing. It come up from the government itself. We say now the 10 million where them being give the current finance minister when the
finance secretary,
Matthew Dingy,
Sajusu.
When
now the audit report been said,
Now it speak from the audit report basically. Yeah. So does that make any difference? And you still get the floor anyway, because this is interesting. You call from Faraway, Australia. We're so happy to have you on the line. Any other contribution or any further questions? Let me clarify this thing.
Yes, let me clarify up today.
Yeah, Brother Eddie, the floor is yours.
Okay. The question, because if I don't foresee they don't can give me such my office without you such money now, they say me office they don't misappropriate this fund, and I don't foresee the spotlight on me. Now me get that trouble now. I get for good people court. I get for good tell the court say no, this money I really hold and they talk to you. Now me office. Now me take and I me responsible for yes. Now me office, but this person now I be assigned this. Responsibility to for go do this. So whatever amount therefore missing, I am responsible for. So now allow this white paper. Now look the houses the way they talk, go they read by the white paper.
I kind of like they get them anymore.
Yeah, that's all right. We lost speaker.
So how many money will they not accusing people the people where you can't depend for say no, it's not going to be right.
Okay. No, you see, we are please, not just answer. You see, we are ready.
Hold on.
No, not right from here. The one that when they now in office, they tell you what they happen to the past predecessors.
Okay, I think we don't lost Brother Eddie. What a great contribution!
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
It's still on.
Okay.
Yeah, Brother Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still on. Yeah. So, Brother Eddie, still on. Okay, just a quick one or two quick things, Brother Eddie. First of all, because the internet they play up, but I want to use this opportunity for really say thank you to you for calling from Australia at this point in time, and making contribution to We Nation, on issues pertaining to We Nation. I really do appreciate that. We get a program where they come up shortly in which we do something like a poll or a survey in which there will be a general question asked as to the satisfaction of the governance of the country. Are we satisfied with the way President Bill lead the country? Basically, 10 for excellent and yes, on a higher scale, and 0 or 5 down, for less. And I hope you go advertise this program in Australia, and I hope this now is your first time, but not to you last time. I really want to say thank you to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And first time caller, but not first time.
Okay, you always watch the forum. Okay, yeah, that's the greatness of the dinner now, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
And tell them go away to
Alfred Sanko, Alfred say Cashbox say not go away yet. It's still our address. Okay, yeah, Freddie, go on address.
Okay, you see what I like you passion and
Cashbox 9 critics to this government. Ever they follow up, I'm critics. So
okay.
Ever say
Okay, so okay, una go on back and forth.
Yeah, that's what it look like. Okay, you see, what's the Zebra Prince? You see, what's brother Eddie need for understand. First of all, I don't say the fight against corruption is based on tribal line. No, I did not say that. And if he say me on right-hand man as well, Mr. Spain, misunderstand me as well. Basically, what I say, when you do that, it is perceived for be based on tribalism. And when then people perceive them that way, it bring this tension now we country. And when it bring tension now we country, you know what's in it happen? With a lost investment, with a lost confidence. So basically, something way for make we gain confidence. In other words, fighting corruption is something way for make we gain confidence. But because of the perception of it, I give example. The example where I give where brother Eddie miss na chief minister. When chief minister they accuse him for 1.5 million. We see where the Kenema people come and say, no, we don't allow for make we brother a name be tarnished this way. So it is not about fighting. So imagine if like peradventure, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, APC can have power. They were indict chief minister. Tell me if like the Kenema people not go stand up and say, no, this now witch hunt. Even though it is true. But waiting me not the condone rights now in our country. I cannot sit back because of just 94 million with a loss billions of dollars worth of investment now we country. For me, it is not a value for money. This is the reason why I say, imagine this is 94 million we talk about. Waiting we for don't gain as a result of stability for don't 10 times this money when they talk about. But the other point where I will make to brother Eddie, where it try for talk, like I say, oh, like me, they try for say the corruption, like bad thing, a good thing. No. The point where they try for say the trade-off, let me do the trade-off now. Yeah. That talk where you talk about the host them, say,
okay, but Alfred, listen, yeah. Eddie get something for say quickly.
Okay, go on.
Go on, Eddie.
I want to just clear at that point there. He said because of the fight for $94 billion, we will lose.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, he said because of $94 million, we will lose billions of dollars investments. What do you mean by this war? Because of this $94 million, so we fight for what we're able to retrieve. We could lose billions of dollars investments.
So again, Fred, did you get it?
I get it.
Okay, address
and I love it. I love it. I wish like we could talk the whole day.
Yeah, we can bring and come on again when we inspire our umpires.
So but answer the question.
Yep.
The reason why we two things that are responsible for make we retrieve 94 million, we lost billions of dollars. Firstly, the manner, and I make it where I talk first, I talk say, because of the way we then self the conduct, the running of this government, don't make the government don't lose in credibility for fight corruption. In other words, we see the 140 billion will disappear. When you try for fat people and we don't thief, then what did they tell you? Me self be get right for thief. The only time when you go tell me say, I'm not for thief, now when it be say you they act responsibly. So waiting that's the apple. So now I make it if he say the tension they rise now the country. And wait to make I say we lost billions of investments now because the tension I talk about before I begin, I think earlier in the program, I talk about the thing where they attract investment. What investors then they look for? This acronym they call SLIDE, the security. So when tension arise, because somebody go tell me, say, well, you the thief there, you can't affect me for thief. You see how the tension they arise in the country. Even now they can tell you and say, why we for even first of all, if the guy they have been serious for fight corruption. That 140 billion.
So the 94 million are supposed to losing a billion. Waiting at the analogy. Yeah.
The analogy is this.
Yes.
When tension arise, we see likes of the African minerals. Not now the government kind of like gets rid of them. Or you know why the government gets rid of them? Because the fee say there was a dodgy deal which be signed by the previous government. And not only that, but please, I go to Africa. Africa have the youngest population in the world. Why we not able to attract companies like Nike?
Okay, Fred. I'm gonna stop you there. Move to my next question, and I'll tell you the reason why I stop you there. Because of course, I've had this with you many a times, and I understand exactly who side you come up from.
Yeah.
Most people will have to listen to you. You know, you're like thoroughly. For them, they understand, say, no, you're not taking sides. Other than, you know, you're talking about country. You're talking about country. And absolutely. I think, the issue here is, I do get these problems as well. You know, the way how you articulate the issue and the way how other people and they look at me, but Eddie still lay on the line, that is exactly what the problem is. Most people be expecting what they can and they can't condemn Marabio because it affects, you know, corruption. They don't know, say, I applaud the fight against corruption. Absolutely. I want corruption, you know, to be zero today. Absolutely. And I applaud the president for taking that step. But absolutely. In doing so, I also they call on the presidency, you have to be real in your fight against corruption. Absolutely. There should be no sacred cows. Absolutely. There has to be an understanding of the fight. You get petty corruption, you get grand corruption. Today, you don't take on the grandest of corruption. Those who abused powers yesterday, you hold them to account today. So shall it be, you know, going forward. But we ask the question, are there any sacred cows now as we speak? We talk about the issue of Tusim. We talk about issues, you know, of people that we serve under the past government, you know, where they serve under this current government. We're accountable. We don't know, you know, the formula that was used to arrive at UNA and then at the white paper, but it certainly seemed like some people were excused. And why? That's the $1 million question. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the $1 million question. But Mr. Sanko, again, one or two questions before we close. I'll just talk to Brother Eddie quickly. Brother Eddie, are you there? Brother Eddie, they watch the program keenly. They on live and they watch out, which is great. I like the brother. Brother Eddie, are you there? Brother Eddie? Okay. I just want to say thank you for the time we are, you know, and I really do appreciate this, and I guess the rest of the audience will appreciate this. Like I say, there are 1 or 2 programs coming up very, very soon, and we expect you to participate. And please advertise the platform in Australia. Let other people participate. In human form, we all hold some biases. Some of it not intentional; it's just subconscious. So people are not get for really blame we, you know, here for this. We just try our best. But thank you so much, brother, for tuning into the dinner now. Okay, the brother got a last one. Hold on, Eddie. Hold on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, like they mentioned, Dennis Sandi will appear before the Commission of Inquiry, the investigator. The man, they all officially, they all appear. So, like, now we look about the names and watching play.
they report me about them, then we begin talk about them. But now they put us saying that the government, because we really see the thing be open and the open court investigation. You see, and the government.
Please, can I ask him one question? Can I ask?
Hold on right there, brother Eddie. I don't know whether brother Eddie get for monitor the team from inside. Right. He want to ask you one question. Go ahead, ask the question. Me go repeat and to Eddie. Okay. Because Eddie
the question, brother Eddie, says, Sajusu himself be appear now. As you say, it be work under minister, and of course the minister then call a name Panda Tokri, right? It appear before the judge. The question now where I will ask you, the Auditor General clearly, and one thing, I'll tell you briefly about the audit concept.
Briefly, please.
The first term, 2017, now it talked about the 10 million we then give Sajusu. In the 2018 audit report back, if it be wrong, if I don't correct them, but he reiterates the same thing back inside the 2018, say, take this money, they not pay him it. The question is this, the Auditor General and the judge, who that we for believe? So this is the question we have to ask him.
Eddie, you get the question, brother? And you get the context? You get them. Okay. You want to respond? Let me use this one as the final one for respond. What? Eddie?
What's the question? Repeat them.
Alfred, what's the question?
It say Sandy them be appear before the judge.
You say Sandy them be appear before the judge?
But Sajusu also be appear before the judge.
Sajusu be also appear before the judge.
But the very Sajusu, the Auditor General tell we say, in two subsequent audit report them, it tell we say 10 million they will then give for go pay with creditors them.
But the very Sajusu, the judge tell we say we be appear that subsequently two reports. Then give 10 million.
The Auditor General.
The Auditor General report tell we say 10 million was given to him for go pay and he never paid.
But now the judge kind of like declare and say, no, he not do anything wrong.
Now the judge don't declare and say he not do anything wrong, even though I understand now what in the border they say, the Auditor General report may find something wanting in terms of man. 10 million was given. It is in black and white document.
So the Auditor General and the judge, who that we for believe? So somebody.
So the question, brother Eddie, the Auditor General and the judge, who do we believe?
Okay, now I don't get them.
Okay.
I don't get the question.
Okay.
Now it's been break is me well. I know they talk now for Sajusu. Okay.
Yeah.
But if the break is me well, I'll be remember say Sajusu we talk say in an advisor at that ministry. I think say if you go on radio 89 this morning at one time, if you get for analyze on them. So this the bulk lie is still the bulk lie on Sajusu. But let them go accuse them back because I know say either the Ministry of Transport and Communication or Finance and from there this morning at reports. The bulk lie on them. But I know go pay money we not to make it.
Okay.
Say, make 10 million on the ministry, they come out, they go through Sajusu. I get for car with them back.
There are delegation of duties, Mr. Eddie. There are delegation of duties. There are delegation of duties. Any manager way now they do all things together, not to better manager.
Okay, that's all right.
And I hope say they listen to me. Might just make one point on that case.
I think we get another possible one contribute.
Okay.
Brother Eddie, thank you so much because we can go on with this. But you seem to be a natural sparring partner automatically with Mr. Sanko, and you don't watch him for a while and there are issues. So what I would suggest at this point is that we organize a 30-45 minutes program in which probably we'll try to understand ourselves. Does that make sense, sir? Okay, thank you so much, brother Eddie. Yeah, thank you so much for your contribution. Take care and happy time in Australia. Okay, so that is sorted. Make I take a call from a co-host, Mr. Mohammed Superman Kamala, where you're waiting himself and contribute. But again, we end this program in 4 minutes time. It's 2 hours, and no one go beyond that. I mean, they decide for 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah. You name and where you're calling from, and you get 2 minutes for make your case, please. 2 minutes. That's a lot of time of talking.
This is for you. This is for you.
Okay, you're live.
I just want to remind you for the program tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for the reminder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Fambulem, this is just a reminder from the co-host of the Then and Now. Tomorrow, you get a very powerful program with a very powerful guest. Mr. Ben Moses will be on the platform analyzing issues of our time. Right here on the Then and Now platform tomorrow at 8 o'clock GMT, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Sierra Leonean West African Time. Not forget for tuning. And you know, say Mr. Superman Kamara, na a articulate man, we sabi for articulate issues. Just like the same way I'm brother they articulate issues. Sometimes we do get confused with people and they articulate issues. But look at the substance. Forget about the man. Because sometimes you think, say, we make prejudgments, say, well, the person belong there, and we base the judgments on those. And I just see that again with Brother Alfred Sanko, what happened for be the guest. But what if people like in the talk, sometimes there's an English language called pedantic, P-E-D-A-N-T-I-C. The complexities, the nature of how they address things, how they look at things. Then small things, the way we can look at and where we talk is very, very critical and important. So Fambulem, without much ado, not forget we get 107 people here today. Una do ya multiply this number by 2, and then by 2, and then by 2, and then we get 1,000. We try for break the 500 mark. And now we and Una responsible. Superman Kamara will be here analyzing, assessing, appraising, evaluating the white paper, corruption, what it mean for our country, what we excellency don't do, the patrol the way don't make, per diem, and the rest of it. Not forget for tuning. Don't touch that dial. If me and you said today this net and they touch on the left and right there. Back to you again.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We get 2 minutes for round up.
Yeah.
Do you support the president on this particular initiative?
No.
You don't. Why?
The simple reason is I cannot see with a chase 94 million, with a chase like and for me personally, I first say waiting the corrupted now we country, they embezzle money away past that amount there. But we're just not able to kind of like even assess them well. And secondly, the report, you know, like then they tell we say the judge them be sit on or that last brother Eddie the talk. Make I tell brother Eddie pan case with and sit on per when I've been lie. Sarah no, hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Might just finish this. He said the judge, then sit down. So if me doubt the judge them, yes, I doubt them. Because
of course you have all right to, yeah.
Sarah Rutile, then tell we say Salon government be get 30%. We are brings at the limit life. 30% so ever exist where Salon government gets Sarah Rutile. Never.
I get you.
Right?
I know what you talk about.
So for me, say exactly. And this is something where I aim for write a detailed report about and do an audio about this Sarah Rutile and send proof.
I hope you use the platform for do that. So
I will do it as well. And you don't say anything I can do for you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So the point is this. I get the shareholding of Sarah Rutile at the time. I get like the addendum where President Kaba signed. I know everything.
That's what I was saying. That's what I am saying. I was saying and I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, they come and stake your reputation because I know you have a lot of reputation.
Yeah.
You know, and even they say, you know, a stake which you don't need for do, but you do that only for make the audience know, say, what you talk, you actually mean them and their records.
Absolutely.
Speaking on. And beginning, you know, with next broadcast, this is exactly what you will get for the show records, you know, do citations, references.
Yeah.
Because that gives authenticity.
You know, lastly, I mean, well, one of my few last words them. Somebody say now the forum, he say, oh, Sajusu, they not to be Sajusu specifically, they say that the debt management unit. You see, this is waiting salon people and they confused about
semantics and they play on
exactly like this man, and then Eddie said the man was an advisor. If it's director of debt management, it wasn't an advisor of debt management. It was the, I mean, if I for me get time, I for me analyze what the director of debt management actually mean.
You're coming about, you know what, every time when we talk, I do take notes and I can go back to the video. So I can take notes, you know, and prepare them for a follow-up. And this is the beginning. In fact, at the time for serialize this, because this is so important, because this is about corruption and it's ongoing and etc.
Yeah.
Two quick questions before I give the floor to round up.
Yeah.
Are you upset that the former president, you know, is being named and they say they will take all in property them? Are you? This is a direct question, Mr.
No. I'm not upset. You know, waiting people in the faithful realize if somebody thief you money, if you can get it back, get it back.
But you're not saying that the former president thief money.
Yes. The problem where I get with this, I make an analysis yesterday. Then tell we say the man in wages now be 2.something billion. In NASIT money now be 200 and something million. Then in investment now be 1.something billion and all that in a day. But hold on. Mr. Bio, we see an analysis where somebody may make, wait till we say just 1 year in per diem in traveling was $2 million. Just 1 year. I make an analysis where I say, okay, we all agree, say, and let's not travel like our mother Bio travel. Let me assume, say, now 1 million per diem, it they make every year.
This quick question, hold the thoughts right there.
Yeah.
So the analysis where you make and which you understand from the report, the way you read.
Yeah.
Ex-president Anesco Massa for 11 years.
Yes.
And Madabio is just been there for 2.5 years.
Yes.
And you say a not travel equal to President Koma. Are you saying this short travel?
No, a not travel. What I mean? Let me say for 1 year, then say President Bio, inside 1 year, it travel.
More than
in per diem, in per diem worth 2 million.
Okay,
but now I say we all been the talk say Anesco man not travel reach Madabio. So let we say we half in travel, Anesco man we half in travel. Let we say it make $1 million per diem every year. So for the 10 years where it rule, it make $10 million. So why they not factor that inside in part of an emolument? For making able
that is a critical point, and that's good for the lawyers. And I sure say the lawyers did not pick up on that because I see Ade Macaulay talk in the rest of it. So that's a very critical point. You see, listen, these are the critical things we talk about. When they talk now, when they talk to brains, and when they talk about
I'm not sure if I'm part of that list.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So the man don't pick that up. As much as they do their assignment, the president in travel allowance in per diem was not factored. Now we're getting records in there as well. So you see, side people can make mistakes. These are the fundamental things. Then when you go to court, if the court is open, fair and free, then you know that person is going to walk away from that court as a free person.
Absolutely.
And I did the intimidation and witch hunt and talking come up from.
Yeah.
Very brilliant point, Alfred Sanko. And you can end much more on this note. But on it, I yield the floor back to you for make you conclude. But I will bring you back soon because you are a man of numbers, you're a man of letters, you're a man of word. I will bring you back soon. But the floor is yours.
Always okay.
Give you wrap up on the issues. This is all what you talk about. Corruption in the State House, corruption in the past, the COI and the white paper, and going forward, what should we be expecting the ordinary people? Let we give a succinct conclusion. We get 120 people in the watch. And they can ask them now, do you want to shape this video immediately 120? We expect 240 for listening.
Thank you.
Mr. Kumar,
thank you, Mr. Prince. You see, one thing people need to understand, say, are not they against corruption? And secondly, are not saying they fight corruption based on tribalism. I did not say that. I make this thing very clear. I say that the perception, now they make instability arise in our country. In the area of State House, let's look at this. All of a sudden, the Yuba we been they carry this man Obalunge we both stole farm. Now the Yuba and the tell say the Yuba under the smell. Defeat will be used for say defeat be reports against the past government. Now we defeat the reports against them now. Then say defeat need for answer question and no sure. And these are all the things same way they go on our country. You know, only full man ain't go no they go no say corruption and they go on in the State House. The point about we fight against corruption. Another one problem with that. We need for fight corruption because corruption they cost lives, corruption they cost education, corruption they cost for make like picking them. They go 3 picking and they sleep in a cottage, right? But look at this. The other point where you make, say other names, the big fish them there, just because Alpha Khan go leak the president. Alpha Khan where he owes a big pass even cannot. We all see him on social media. Wow. Now all of a sudden Alpha Khan not what if man. These are some of the things where we need for begin to check ourselves and sit home and say, what's going on? The point here is this government make the fight against corruption, the credibility go outside the window because we see the 140, then self the thief. So when you want kind of like thief, now this thing you say thief, God laugh. We, the people, we just the shidom, we did at the mercy, the alaki with lives. But the point now, Prince, this old white paper, look at Anesco Mayos, and this to be the back Anesco. Waiting me no like na lie in politics. I don't say politics people and say na lie man in Pakli. But you see, it cost lives them. When people in the talk say Anesco Man, the value of Anesco Mayos now $5 million. Waiting the report fall short of, and this is another point where I will make you take, Prince, and we go carry on before I finish. It said it also worth the value of the house now $5 million. But when the report falls short of, when they say the house worth $5 million, no, it don't necessarily mean say now $5 million a cost for Bilam. Like right now, Bra Prince, decide what you did. Let we say a day Peckham. If right now, today, Boris Johnson move Cam Peckham, the value of my house they go up. That's what I try for say. It don't mean say because they say the value of the house now $5 million. It means now $5 million and it's comative for build the house. It could have spent $1 million. So the report falls short of that for tell we almost they actually almost an escoma actually thief. But when it come for make the house retrieve the money, yes, it's necessary for make they use the value of the house. But for tell we almost a thief. You know they tell me saying $5 million. I'm
gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you right because you are releasing too much for the lawyers, and the lawyers are watching. Ade Macaulay is watching. Of course, you will have known this, but just in case you didn't know this, those that are planning the case were not smart enough, for thinking as such. Because first of all, there are many things they not take into accountability.
Yeah.
When the houses were built.
Yeah.
The properties, the local and properties, when they were built, that time factor as opposed to exchange rate, money value, and etc. Et these are the technical, these are inflation rate, these are the technical details, and the other one we just highlight. I mean, any lawyer will love you for being the technical assistant.
Oh my God, you're trying to sell me right now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and I don't mind because it's just on the basis. It's just on the basis of a fact because you're actually wowing me, even though I think about these things as such as well. But Mr. Sanko, you're always a wonderful guest. Do appreciate your insight all of the time, and come back again soon. Thank you so much, my brother. And I use this last opportunity for tell the entire world, that you lost your mama quite recently, and want to use this public opportunity not as a reminder in a different sense. But for use the opportunity for extend with deepest sort of condolences towards your loss. May the mommy, continue for rest in perfect peace.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sanko. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We've come to the end of another brilliant program from the Then and Now platform. I've been your host and presenter, Mr. Prince Emil Cromer. You're talking about the white paper corruption in White House or State House, then column. And here is the thing. If the president is serious about fighting corruption, we applaud him, for the action that he has taken. Absolutely. I personally applaud him, and I know loads of other people applaud him. Anybody we get definitely applaud him, but there be no sacred cows. This is what we say. And within the government circle, people and still they walk inside the where the name for don't they we guess they may will not be one mention name, but of course they mention one name, and there are 2-3 other critical names. Just because they pander over to government, they get things them or buildings them, properties them, which are questionable. So it's like I'm not explaining your salary, between you. Really? So why 1 or 2 person the name not there inside the paper? How serious can we be in fighting corruption? But again, like I say, we don't come to a brilliant end to this particular program. People that we get to see, themselves not corruption. When you send people, from State House to Parliament, and expect them for be confirmed, even though they are not supposed to be confirmed, and then confirm them, that in itself not corruption. When you bought them, when you pull some of them were cashiers, I'm not demeaning them because you don't know the nature of the work we they do. It could be even below that. But I just they say some of them were cashiers, some of them, were like the United Kingdom former ambassador under the SLPP shortly was a Bupa director Naya. So again, you obviously get to see him. I mean, we don't want to go into this in which one begin for call names, but President Bio. Please, sir, if you are listening or this video ever reach you or your advisor ever reach this video to you, please, sir, for clear your name and secure that legacy, something where you don't start, because I applaud you for taking that action there, where most people and things say you don't go beyond the limit, but for convince we, say you see, you look at your backyard, clean the weed them from around you, good flower them. So the flower then will blossom, kill the weeds. The people that will be there with you when you can go, look at the one where you sack, almost even they make, now we go in the right, this, that. Look, close into your personal circle, you press secretary, you then Keke Thomas and them. Look at the motorcar where they ride. I don't envy him, but if he gets unfairly, why not? Yeah. Just come out. In salary, yes. Is it commensurate to that? The answer is no. So when you try for convince we on the issue of corruption, Mr. President, please try for stretch your eye more, try for stretch your hand more, and for convince the Sierra Leonean people that I am serious. Yeah. So the ACC boss, when are you appointing, sir? You get for admonition more, for let he also understands, if you get the freedom and wit for perform, a need for reigning people like the chief minister. You really guest also talk about chief minister and 1.5 million. That 1.5 million still hang on the limbo. People and things they don't done with. No, we don't forget. You can sweep her under the carpet. The truth doesn't die. At some point, it defend oxygen and it resurrect and it come for haunt you. So if you're not serious about what you do, these things will come for haunt you. 1.5 million. That question will have to be answered on a different day. Yes, you are leading a fight today, and that fight will you lead today. Thank you very much, Mr. President, but more has to be done. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin the program, so shall we end the program with that desired corruption. And it do so, boo. Yeah? But this is a fight that we all get for keep up with. And they ask Una again, finally, Una share this video wide and far. Because it been so interesting, now it make we continue for broadcast. Hello. Yes, now it make we continue for broadcast. But that broadcast, it don't come to an end now. And like I say, how we begin now so we the end yeah. Thank you. So let me go back again to that research, yeah. We were wondering what. Thank you. So, Mr. Sanko, thank you so much. I will call on you again. I hope you always available for the platform. Anytime. I want to say thank you. Yeah? You're welcome. You're wonderful. You're a wonderful guest. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you. continue for complete the numbers, and I will talk to you about some events soon. And I will talk them publicly, and that's just on the basis of on advice. Now the same Sierra Leone, because you are a man, you know, you're financially, you are clued on. Thank you so much.
Okay. Good night. Good night.
Good night. I will end that. I'll listen to that Sarge, and then we can take the lead. But don't forget tomorrow, Superman. I repeat, Superman is online. Yeah, Superman is online, talking about real issues.